Welcome to the Rebrand and Rebuilding community, where we come together to shine light on not only our past, but shine light on our future as well. We're coming here today to tell stories of what's going on in our lives and how we overcame and still here to overcome. That's what we're here to do on the Rebrand and Rebuilding community podcast. Please tune in for our next guest. Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, of course. I'm a public speaking coach for executives, and I also have a YouTube channel on the topic. How I got started, Stacey, was when I was in university. I went to business school, and in business school I did these things called case competitions. They give it like professional sports, but for nerds. So while other guys my age playing rugby or soccer or football, I wasn't one of those guys. I did presentations professionally. That's how I learned how to speak. And then as I got older, I started coaching people who were younger than me because I realized that everything I was coaching them on wasn't available for free on the internet. So I started the YouTube channel a few months after that, and the rest was history.
Oh man, so you've been doing this for a while now. Like, you're not new at this. Like I said, you've been in the game for a little minute. You know what? I checked out the YouTube video that you sent me. And I checked it out last week, but I didn't like it until today. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on. I'm going to try these little techniques out to see if they work. So I've been trying to get into making more TikTok videos for my business, or at least just about who I am. Because I keep myself really boxed in. Like, I'm doing my business. I'm out there, but I'm not really expressing myself and how I do what I do and why I do what I do. And then just making my content fit around that, you know, my life. Even the bad things and even the dirty stuff. Like, people want to see the real, and they can kind of even feel it online if you're just you can tell when someone's just putting on. Like, people want to, especially when they're buying from you, they want to be able to trust you. They want to be able to know that they can relate. So I wasn't doing any of that. So I've been making more videos, and I'm going to get better at speaking. So I was like, let me try the silences out. And pausing and getting my words across. And my work, you know what? It's working. Like, I didn't have a partner to try it with, but last week I made a video, and even today I made a video, and I kind of caught myself rambling, and I was like, okay, let me slow down. And instead of, if you watch a lot of my stuff, I'm like, like every other sentence. I'm the worst. I even asked a few people on social media for their feedback, and that's what they said. And I was like, you say a lot. And I've tried to stop, but I've been doing better. And I was like, okay, I have to really like it because I've been trying it out for a week. And I'm getting to the point where now I can catch myself. So it's working out in personal and professionally for me. So can't you tell? Like,
yeah, you're doing great, Stacey.
I'm excited. So when you came up with those, is it four silences?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So there's a couple of strategies here that we can talk about. But, you know, since that video was published, I came up with even easier tips that we can talk about. So I call them my easy threes. Yeah. So the first one is called the random word exercise. So all you have to do is pick a random word like phone, like headset, like eyes, like wall, and you create presentations out of thin air. So let's say we take the word castle, you just create a random 60-second presentation, not 60 minutes, off the top of your head. And what this does is it helps build their resilience as a speaker, Stacey. What I always tell people is if you can make sense out of nonsense, you can make sense out of anything. And that's really the power of what you can do with the random word exercise. So you do that a few times a day, and that's what builds up your expertise over time.
I love it. You know what? I learned so much from the first video you made. Like, I haven't seen the newest one you put out, but I was kind of hesitant. I was like, I really want to see if this works, because anyone that come on the show or anyone that I meet and they give me some great ideas and it actually works, you're the one I want to learn from. Like, that's where I go to, especially with the free content. Not everyone has the funds or finances to, take courses or, even pay a mentor or, pay someone to do that for them, or a life coach. So being able to provide that free on your network, on your YouTube channel, I love that. And another thing I took from that video was you have to know your audience and what you're giving to them. Like, you want to know the outcome. Like, you just can't go, I've been going in blind. Like, okay, I'm just going to make this video, but who are you making this video for? And what reason are you making this video? So, like, I've really been learning, like, okay, I'm seeing a lot of things. I mean, I've been doing this now for a year and a half. So it's going pretty good, and I'm really hoping to keep expanding and growing and just taking off. But I've taken a lot, just a little bit from the last week until now, just listen to that one video. That was just one video. So I love the content that you're putting out there. It's helping me, and I know if my audience out here is listening today, I know you guys, this would work for you guys. Like, I mean, I'm telling you. So I have a question for you. I know you give the free content, but do you have any paid courses or programs for people out there that maybe want to talk to you one-on-one? They may want to reach the man, behind the video. They want to meet you in person, or, at least where they get to work with you one-on-one or in a group setting in, whatever you have. But do you have anything for people to do that?
Absolutely, Stacey. We do have different paid programs, but to your point, like what I always say, Stacey, you're absolutely right. I'm super empathetic as well to the part that a lot of people can't afford coaches. So for me, that's why I have the YouTube videos so that people can access that content. But for those who are interested in coaching, they can just attend one of my free trainings. That's the best way to start. And they can go to rockstarcommunicator.com to register for one. That's how you start the process if you want to do coaching with me.
Okay. And so you said they have a checkout. I did see that link actually on there as well, where you said you do that weekly. So how do you find the time to post that every week? Like, I'm even with the podcast, and this is a lot, and I'm getting coaching clients here and there, and I'm trying to build up my roster. So how do you find the time to do that weekly?
Absolutely. So I actually do it twice a month. So luckily it's not as hectic. Okay. I think the key is you got to make the time, right? Life is about priority. So and I think the problem with most entrepreneurs, most people, is that they focus on too many things, so they don't have time for anything. Versus going, and here's a question that really gets us focused. If you could only accomplish 3 things in your life before you die, what would you want those 3 things to be? So when you ask yourself that question, Stacey, you look at all the 17,000 things you want to do, and you go, okay, well, and I only get 3, and then I die. What would I want those 2 things to be? And that keeps you real focused.
That really does, and I kind of, and I'm the one that's gonna try to bargain with God. Like, can we negotiate? Can I have like a 3.2? 1, 2, 3, like, because there's so many things that I do want to do, but that does give you real focus and what's important to you. So I know when you said that, the first thing came to my mind was being able to leave a legacy for my sons. I want to be able to make their journey along the way where I had to really scrape and struggle and hit the pavement hard. They won't have it so hard, it just makes it easier for the next generations to come. I want us to continue to build on that. So that is the first thing that I thought about. But it's so many things that go into play with that. So, it's hard just to say 3. But yeah, that really does give, perspective. And like you said, we have to make the time. People make the time for things and for people that they want to make the time for. So if you're not making the time for it, I mean, you just chose, life is about choices. You just chose not to do it. And I'm learning that the hard way. But like I said, just listening to a little bit of you, like, and just us sitting here having this conversation, you give me so much to, I want to really dive in deep. I want to pick your brain. Like, I know you get this often. I know, and even just to be able to have you on here, and I didn't have to pay you a cent to come on my show. I'm not even, haven't made it out there yet, but I'm glad to have you now, because I can learn a lot from you, and even from the free content. And like you said, joining your your 2-month you're doing it monthly, right? Twice a month for your live trainings. So that'll help me out. And then twice a month, I can kind of swing twice a month. Because right now with my job, it's hectic, and I'm really getting to the point where I'm trying to get I'm transitioning from the work-life balance and clocking in and clocking out into the entrepreneur, but the job is the stability, and I'm so afraid to let it go. I'm in a comfort zone. But I know what I want to do. I want to do speaking engagements. I want to write more. I want to be able to put out the right content for my ideal clients to find me. And I'm learning to do that. But it's so hard because I don't want to let the job go. It pays the bills. It really does. And it's crazy because they take care of everything literally besides I can feed myself. I'm not even worried about that. But they do everything else. You can't complain. So I'm really, I'm trying to put myself to where I'm setting little mini goals for myself, especially when it comes to selling. I never wanted to be like a salesman. Like I don't want to be like, some salesmen, they'll get you for anything. They'll try to sell you anything and they don't care. I don't want to be that type. You know, I want to have value of what I'm going to give you value. Where you can learn and you can grow, and you know what I'm giving you, you can see the evidence of it, you know, and I'm not just selling you anything. So that's really my thing and why I've been taking my time, because I really wanna have value. I want to be able to be abundantly value to a lot of people, many people around the world. So speaking is my number one, but just doing the trainings and listening to you and having this conversation. These are my teachings, and it's just one step closer every day. It's a step, you know. I'm getting there.
I love that, Stacey. Yeah, no, I think you know, for me, you know, I quit my job when I was 25, right? And it was a really hard decision for me to make because I was the only breadwinner in my family. You know, and I still am, by the way, until like probably the last 2 months. And it was a tough decision. And at some point, you know, we come to a crossroads. But what I would say is a couple of things. The first one is I only quit my job after I had like a 9-month emergency fund. So I took very little risk. The second thing was I had replaced half of my income. So I was already making money as a coach. I didn't just jump. So if you're not making, I mean, you probably are. But if you haven't replaced like a pretty significant portion.
No, not yet.
Then I wouldn't quit, right? I wouldn't quit the corporate job. I would really... Because I think the challenge, because I hate recommending burning your ship. It doesn't matter. I think that's really stupid.
It really is.
It is.
You gotta be logical about it, you know, realistic. And then, like I said, when you have people depending on you, you can't just up and do it. I've done it before and I hit the ground many times. So now I'm trying to think smarter, and like you said, a savings account. I'm working on that, and I'm trying to get my housing stuff set up to where I don't have to worry about it. If anything happens, that's taken care of, the children's taken care of, and I may not get to go out and splurge on food. I love stopping at many different restaurants around, and I travel for work, so I'm trying all the local spots. So I may not get to do that, but at least my responsibilities and I'm taken care of, and that's what I'm learning. I had to learn the hard way, but I know now. I'm 31 years old, you guys. It took me 31 years to get it. You said you got it at 25. Some people get it quicker, some people get it later, but all that matters is that you get it and you do what you need to do.
100%. You know, we all got our own timelines, right? And then the third piece is learning to downgrade your lifestyle. Like for me, I still live in my mother's basement, even despite the success I have now as a coach. Because I want that extra 12-15K to invest in another coach. I want that extra money to like go to this trip and go meet some key business partners, because I want that leverage, right? So it's all about thinking about how are we managing our current capital as well. Yeah. So those are the couple of things that I would say. But the other thing that I'll push, that I'll challenge you on, is that we also shouldn't make our circumstance an excuse not to do the thing either. So it's all about, you got to balance those two things.
Yes, I'm all about balance.
You gotta balance those two realities. Because I could have made any excuse in the book. I mean, I was 22 and I started coaching CEOs. I could have easily said, I'll wait until I'm your age, or like 32 or something, and then I'll quit. But at the same time, I was like, look, I got no mortgage, I don't have kids, like I have no risk, so I better buy back my 20s, or else I'll keep making excuses the rest of my life. So everyone's got their own situation. You gotta look at your own balance sheet and make the decision. But I think the key is you gotta have a plan to quit. Like you should give yourself, like, here's a question my coach asks me to this day, still my coach. And I told him 2 years ago, Stacey, I said, my goal, it was 2020, right before the pandemic hit. He's like, what's your goal, Brenden? I was like, when I'm 28, I was 23 at the time. When I'm 28, Mom said, I'm going to quit my job in 5 years. I'm going to do this full time. And he said, how can you do that in 5 months? And I just went, oh, okay, well, I don't think that's possible. He's like, just think about it. How would you do it in 5 months? I was like, well, I would need 20 clients, 2 clients a month. And he's like, how many clients do you have now? And I was like, oh, well, I signed 2. And he's like, well, if you do that for every month for 6 months, you can just quit your job, right? And I was like, oh, you're right. So he was right. It didn't take me 5 months. It took me a year and a half, but it was much less
than 5 years. Well, you know what? I gave myself a year, so maybe I need to, because I was like, I'm going to stay in this job. I'm going to deal with whatever I have to do with for a year, and then I'm out. But it's been like 6 months in, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. But I need to, I mean, it may take me a little longer, but I'm going to stay in it as long as it takes. Like, I'm out on the road, and I love to travel for work. I love being with my sons, my family, but I love to travel. So if we could do that all together, and now with the pandemic hitting, and even now still after, everything is online, so I can homeschool my son, my baby son, like I want to. I didn't get to do it with my older sons, but I want to homeschool. I want to purchase an RV. You know, gotta have certain insurances. I want to make sure if anything happens while we're out on the road for repairs, I can handle that. But that's what my savings right now is going to. Is like, okay, because I mean, like, I've been getting my nails done, but I'm gonna stop getting my nails done because I spend $160 every 2 weeks. That could be going.
That's a big weakness. That's a weakness.
That is. That could be going to my, and I've done it before. When I went through my separation, I was homeless. I was homeless for like 9 months. I didn't get my hair done. I didn't get my nails done. I just took care of the kids. I ate. I slept in my van. But I saved up so much money. I bought a car and I got a place. So I still, within that year, I still did what I had to do. Like, I didn't let, even though I wanted to break down and cry, I knew I couldn't do that I would cry one day and I'm like, okay, tomorrow I don't care. I'm the shit. I'm gonna get myself together. I'm gonna work. I tell people, like, it's not always easy. Some days you're gonna feel bad. Some days you're gonna be, more confident than others. But I pushed through it no matter what. And I came up out of that 9 months. And it was crazy because the company that I was working for, I saved up so much money. They matched what I saved and gave me that because they knew what I was going through. I never asked them for a handout or anything, but they just did it at the count of their heart, never had to pay it back. They were like, we see you was working, and they were like, how much money do you have saved? I told them, they matched it. I was like, wow. They wrote me a check, and it took me almost a year, but I still got it done. So with this, I'm like, okay, a year I'm gonna be out. But I've been spending money a little lavishly lately. Like,
too lavish.
So, but I got it out my system though, because I was homeless for a while. I had to make up for all of that time I couldn't get my hair and nails done. But now, because I'm setting other goals, and like you said, I want to be able to, like you said, I want to bring in, and I haven't even right now. I haven't even made $2,000 a month with my clients. I'm giving out more free services than I'm getting paid for. But my goal is $5,000 months. Then it'll go up to maybe $7,000 to $8,000, and then that's my goal. So if I can make $5,000 a month to replace, right now I'm bringing in with my job a little over $5,000. So if I can replace that, I'll feel confident. But I want to at least do, like you said, 6 months to a year where I'm doing it and it's nonstop, not where 1 month I'm making it, I'll make it for 4 months down the road. Like, I need it to be consistent. So I'm trying to get more consistent in what I do and just better at what I'm doing. So like I said, even with what you're doing, your network, your show, everything you're about, I love that. I'm glad you reached out to me. I'm glad we got to get on here and hold a podcast interview. I really wanted to, like I said, pick your brain. But anything else you want to give me? Any more information? I'm going to let you talk for a little bit.
No, it's all good. I think that I can leave your audience with saying, this is great, bud, and congrats on all the success you've accomplished. That's amazing, right? Going from where you used to be to now spending $150 on nails, you've clearly made it far in the game. So,
right.
So that's good. That's good. Here's what I would say. There's a question I always ask people to think about, and the question is simply this: how would your life change if you were an exceptional communicator? I think the problem with most of us is we're always so negative. We always focus on the stress, the anxiety around communication. versus how our lives would change if we actually watched those YouTube videos, if we actually took those actions, if we did the random word exit, how would our life be different? And for all of us, that answer's different. For you, you could be $1 million coach and an amazing podcaster, even if you're already a great one. Somebody else could be listening and say, oh, I can have a better relationship with my significant other. Somebody else could be listening to this and say, I can have a better relationship with my kid.
Yes.
Right? So
all
once
of
you
that.
find that reason, that's what pushes you to the goalpost. So start reflecting on that would be my final thought.
Yes. You know what? I want to teach people, especially growing up in the family that I grew up in. Now, my dad's side, they're a little bit more where we can sit down and we can all come together and discuss things and express our feelings, and everybody's okay at the end of the day. But on my mom's side, you start to express yourself, feeling a shoe gets thrown across the room, like we don't know how to come together and just talk, and everyone listens to one another don't respond to nothing, just listen. And we all take turns to go around the room and then maybe sit down and write out what we want to respond to, who we want to respond to, instead of, like, I really want to learn many different techniques for my professional life, but also for my personal life, like I said, with my family, because like you said, even speaking with your significant other, I actually just not too long had to end a relationship because I didn't have an issue with expressing myself. It's just when I expressed myself, that person, every time I expressed myself, they took it like I was, I guess, not doing it in the right way. Or maybe I could do it a little bit better, but I felt like I'm expressing myself to the best of my knowledge and with what I know. I'm not meaning any harm by it. I'm not cussing and fussing. I speak loud naturally, so it'll come off like I'm being loud. I cannot help that. I do tone it down a lot, but I don't have to use a microphone a lot of times when I'm doing my podcast because my voice echoes in the microphone. I've tried a few different microphones, but it's just a natural tone. So a lot of times, like I said, he just felt like, or they felt like I just didn't express myself in a lot of ways, but it's more than one right way to express yourself. And being able to have someone to understand you, especially when you mean no harm, my intentions were pure. It just didn't come off. It didn't rub. I guess I rubbed them in the wrong way, and I did not mean for that to happen. So being able to do that, that's me perfecting my craft, my speech, my tone. Just me in general. I think that'll just help me out a lot. Just not even just me, but that's something I want to do because I want to be able to teach my sons, their children. We need to be able to sit down and converse with one another without using curse words or all getting heated. Some people don't want to talk about certain things because they get angry, but it's okay to be angry. Now, what you do when you get angry, that's another thing. Like, we all have to learn how to control our emotions and not let it spill out on other people. But if you can't have a conversation without going Incredible Hulk and want to tear stuff up, then that's the problem. You don't always have to. Some people say, well, I want to be alone, and they won't talk to you for a day or a week or a year, and that's not necessarily like you need to learn how to conduct yourself, to speak. You need to learn how to express yourself without getting angry at what someone said. We can agree to disagree without going Incredible Hulk. Some people do that, and like I said, I try to get them to see, like, you don't have to just not talk to me. Let's sit down and figure out a way that we can discuss things with one another, where we can get things, it can be out there clear. Everything's out in the open. No one has hard feelings. Did you get your feelings out? I got my feelings out. I expressed myself. You express yourself. I say there's more than one different ways, but I love your techniques. They're in the beginning stages. You teach. I love that, but I want to hone in on, especially when you like talking to your significant other or your child. Just because you are that child's parent don't mean you have to talk to that or belittle that child, or they're a human being too, So yeah, but it'll help me out a lot.
That's amazing, Stacey. I'm glad to hear that. If you have any questions, don't be shy to reach out. Always happy to serve.
I most definitely will. I'm gonna be tuning into your live, so you'll catch me soon. I'm gonna go on your website. I do have the link. And they got to go on there and go. Do I need to schedule a slot or just come in, get your schedule, and come in whenever you have it?
Yeah, you just click the link and then it shows you the 2 dates and then you just register with your email and you're all set.
All right, and for our listeners again, before we get out of here, what's the link to go on and get this free training?
Yeah, of course. It's rockstarcommunicator.com.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And when I put this out, I'll let you know. I'll be doing a whole segment on you. I'm going to do a lot more than just this podcast on my social media about you. I love what you do. I love what you do. I can look at you as a mentor and follow in your footsteps because I want to be able to do the same, especially for our people, African American community. We really need to learn that. Our people, I'm afraid to say that, but yes, I want to get it out there. I think that'll be something great for me to learn and be able to pass down. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stacey. You're amazing. Have yourself a beautiful day.
You too. Bye-bye.